Welcome back to the channel, and if you can you please try and push that little button that says subscribe, because it will help this little tiny channel keep on growing. With that, let's get on with it, shall we? Right, so yes, we are doing another review on a KVM, but before we do the unboxing on the KVM, I want to point something out to you. Now, I actually use a KVM switch now, and it is, funny enough, from Testmart, and I've had it for a few years now, and it works brilliantly. It can control 4 PCs at any one time, which I do have. At the moment, I'm running 2 PCs because I'm moving things about over here. Look out for a video for that. Now, I've also done another video recently, link in the video description, for this little baby. This is a Thunderbolt one. Yes, it's a KVM switch that uses Thunderbolt connection, or Thunderbolt 4 to be precise, and I've done a review on it, like I said. Link in the video description below. So yeah, very impressed with that, very impressed. It works extremely well. But it doesn't do, or you can't connect more than 2 PCs to it. But it does work extremely well. Now, I was quite interested in another KVM switch that they had on their website, and that one does 4 PCs. So you can plug in 4 PCs into the KVM switch, and it will control, for me, this is my setup, so 4 PCs, 2 monitors, 1 keyboard, 1 mouse. That's what I was looking for. They got other variations, but that's the specific ones I want. And I said to them, I would be interested in doing that. And guess what? They sent it to me. And it's not in this box. Give me a second. It's in this box. And yes, it is quite a big box. And it says Testmart. And yeah, looking forward to doing the unboxing on this little baby. Like I said, this will do, or this will connect up to 4 PCs. And we are going to be connecting 4 PCs permanently, so that I can switch from one to the other, depending on what I'm doing. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Yorkie, you've already got a KVM that does 4 computers at the same time. Yes, it does, but this new one has some new features to it, which I'm going to go through in a second, after we've done the unboxing. Let me go through everything first. So power, yeah, for giving it power, of course. Instructions, hopefully I won't need that, but there might be some tutorials on problem solving if you have any issues. So look out for a video for that. Remote control, I won't be using that, I don't think. I might do, I might not. But if we do, we're going to need to plug this in. There's a little sensor to pick it up, depending on where you put it, you know. Couple of brackets, I forgot about this. You can actually put this in a data cabinet, and I'm thinking, well, that's a good idea. I might actually do that, and I'll be able to use that and just have the remote. Yeah, money saving tip. Let me get that out of the way. Some screws for mounting it actually to the data cabinet. Now, we have 4 sets of cables for HDMI. So you have a choice. You can either use HDMI, you have 4 of them, which you will need if you're running 4 PCs, obviously. You probably know this anyway, you know, if you're thinking about doing something like this. Or we have 4 DisplayPort cables. Now, I prefer DisplayPort cables. I have for a long time now, or for years anyway. So yeah, I prefer them. Now, get them out of the way. Now, the unit itself, I think it looks very pretty. There was one little downside to this, which I'm going to go through in a second. So we have the actual name and the model, which may be important to some people, because especially if you've got a problem, nothing worse than trying to find the model number and say, look, I've got this model. You can find it straight away because it's on the front. So we have headphone socket, USB, I believe that's a 3.2 with 5 gigabytes per second connection, or you can use Type-C connection, which will give you the same speed. Brilliant. LED display. One of the things I liked about this unit. We have an array of buttons for changing it from whatever PC, like 1 to 4. We have things like scanning and things like that. Not really sure what that one is. Not really sure. There's your sensor in case you don't want to use that sensor. So you have that sensor there. On off button. Now that is unusual to see it like that, but I quite like that. We have an air vent on one side, we have a fan on the other side. That's why it might be ideal to go in a cabinet, because it might be noisy, it might not. Hopefully it won't be. Nothing on the bottom, just a flat bottom. Nothing on the top except for test mark. Thank you test mark, by the way. Do appreciate it. Now we have your power in. We have Ethernet connection, which is only 1 GB. We have USB for your mouse and keyboard. I will be using a wireless one. We have a service connection, 2 USBs, and I believe again that might be 3.2. Now this is where it gets a little bit interesting, or you might like, you might not like. Now it has 2 outputs. These are HDMI connection. I would have preferred the choice, myself, I would have preferred the choice of having HDMI or DisplayPort, and I would have gone for DisplayPort, but it is what it is. That's that. This is for your USB connections. Let me see if I can show you somehow. Where is it? I say like this. So this is for that connection there, that will go in there, and that will allow you, especially if you've got a monitor that has USB on it, which I do. My 2 monitors have USB, but these are to go into the back of your PCs, so you've got control of your actual USBs. Yeah, makes sense? Well, it will do. Hopefully it does anyway eventually. DisplayPort for input B, and input A is HDMI, and that is the same on all 4. There might be a reason for that, I don't know, but that's what they've done. And apart from that, it looks really nice. I'm looking forward to plugging them in. Yeah, I do like that button. It's really weird. It does raise, by the way. I don't know if you can see that. It does come out. So I take it that's off. I'll take it that's on. Could be totally wrong, could be the other way around. But yeah, that is it. It's got a nice weight to it. It's not light. It feels like it's made of metal, and I need to plug it in. Let's get on with it, shall we? And I might actually change the way, or I might change where it's going to go. Originally I was thinking it's going to go where the other one is and just swap them out, but now, maybe not in this video, I'm thinking it might go in the cabinet. I need to work out how much cable I need to run for it to be in there, because I'm going to have to run the cables all the way over to there. So go from there to there. Sorry, let's get on with it, shall we? So I thought I would actually show you how this plugs in on the back, because I watched a couple of videos and I thought, well, no one's actually shown you how to connect these. So this will be PC number 4. So USB, HDMI in there. I've got to move it a little bit because the cable's not long enough. So that would go in there, and then DisplayPort, which will go in there. So that's number 4. Now number 3, cable's a little bit longer because the PC's a bit closer. Makes sense, doesn't it? DisplayPort, USB, HDMI, take the cover off. Now this is not going to be where it's going to be left. This is just so that I can give you a demonstration of it actually working if I can get the cables long enough. Make sure you subscribe and click on the bell for notifications for when I bring that video out. And you can see it all set up, hopefully. Anyway, hopefully. So, USB's in, HDMI, and DisplayPort. They're nice cables, by the way. And voila, so that is that. Now, what I need to do now is plug in my 2 HDMIs for my 2 monitors, which I'm going to do right now. HDMI for your monitor, so that will go in there. So this is the one on the left, and this is the one on the right. Job done. Let me quickly go through everything I've set up so far. So PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4, 2 monitors. That is it so far. And it should be virtually ready to go, because all I need now is power and plugging in my keyboard and mouse, which I'm not going to do because it's going at the front. It's going to be in there because I use a wireless one. So I just need power. So again, I'm going to quickly go through it. DisplayPort HDMI USB, DisplayPort HDMI USB, DisplayPort HDMI USB, DisplayPort HDMI USB, and 2 HDMI connections for your monitors. And you can do networking. Now, the reason I'm not going to be using the networking is because most of my PCs will run at that speed or higher, depending on, you know, your motherboard. Mine has 10 gigabit or 10 GB, so I can run it flat out. So it's working fine. I did have one little issue, and my little computer, the one down here, it wouldn't actually come out with a display, and all it was I didn't plug in the cable properly on the back of the actual KVM switch and on the computer. So it didn't matter whether I just plugged that one in properly, it still wouldn't show up because I had to do it on both ends. So something to bear in mind: if you don't get no display, make sure you plug in your cables properly. And all I had to do is give it a little bit more of a nudge, and job done, and it's working perfectly. Now, I have done some other connections. I've actually connected it to the internet as well, and the reason for that is because although them two are actually connected directly to my internet, these two wasn't, and I thought, don't really want to use Wi-Fi. Let me plug them into the switch. So I connected the switch up to my network, and job done. It goes through, as far as I understand, USB for internet. And I've done a speed test, and I was getting just under 1,000, so well pleased with that, or 1 GB, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, and it didn't matter which computer I used, either the big one or a little one, they was performing brilliantly. I even done some updates on the little computer with Windows, and I thought, oh my god, it's going to take like forever. But it didn't take that long at all. So now, not only do I have internet through these through one cable, which only gives you 1 GB, admittedly, whereas these ones over here, they're 10 GB, these two. So they're connected, like I said, directly, because this KVM switch is 1 GB. Now, I've also connected my speakers to it through USB, which is the red cable there. So it doesn't matter which computer I use, they will share not only the monitors, keyboard and mouse, but also the speakers. So whether I use number 1, 2, 3 or 4, switch them over and they all get the same audio, which is brilliant, which is what I really like. So like I said, 1, takes a few seconds, but is there? 2, 3, 4. Now, there are some other options on the actual controls itself, and that is you can actually set this up so you can switch from one monitor for one PC, another monitor for another PC. I'm not doing that in this video, but there are plenty of videos out there that do show you how to do it, and it's quite easy. I do like the LCD display. It gives you quite a bit of information. It says it's got audio, network, and 2 monitors. And switching from one PC to another PC is a breeze, whether you're using the actual buttons actually on the unit itself or using the remote control. You can even configure hotkeys for it. Yeah, very pleased. Easy to use. There's the Wi-Fi controller for my keyboard and mouse, and that works perfectly. Let me just quickly show you the back, because like I said, I've added 2 more connections. So that is for my speakers, USB. That is for my internet, and I've already shown you everything else. It gets warm, but it doesn't get hot. It just gets warm. And it works. Plug and play. Job done. Yeah, very pleased with it. Definitely gets my thumbs up. I have decided I'm going to put it in my data rack, but not in this video. I'm doing another video on that. And also, I'm going to do some couple of little videos on troubleshooting in case you have problems. Q&A if you like, okay? So look out for that. So make sure you're subscribing and clicking on the bell for notifications if you want to see them videos. Otherwise, you'll miss them. So my next project, which I've already started some time ago now, a couple of weeks I've been working on it, is I'm reconfiguring this room. I've already moved my data cabinet over there, and I've made a new cabinet to go underneath it, which is all set up and job done. And I'm putting these 2 computers over here with these 2 computers. Now, the big one, the EVGA, that is a little bit too tall to go under this underneath. So I need to raise the shelving up. So there's another big job, because I've got to take them computers off, do all the rewiring so that all the cables can reach all the way over there, because like I said, the switch is going in that box. And I'm thinking, oh, do I really want to do that? Do I? Not really, but I'm going to do it. And hopefully you'll enjoy the video. So with that in mind, link in the video description in case you want to go and check it out, or maybe even buy it. I always put my links in there, and don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Also, if you have any questions, you know what to do, post them below, and look out for the Q&A for this. Yeah, the actual switch. I'm going to do Q&A, so keep an eye out for that as well. So with that, thank you very much for watching.